Hello, and welcome to Centurion's Corner. And another week's gone past. Well, actually, 2 weeks since I've been live. I couldn't make it last week because it was just a little bit busy. But I'm on this week, so we can talk about two of the last episodes of The Mandalorian. But mainly, it's going to be about the season finale, as the one before was slightly a little bit. It was good, but it just it wasn't too great. I can't actually remember what actually happened in it, which would be good. So yeah, the last season. Obviously, spoilers alert if you haven't watched Mandalorian. Otherwise, you wouldn't be on this page like thing, to be honest. But yeah, it was beautiful, absolutely beautiful what they done. It was fantastic. I did the only thing I downside. I wish that the Dark Troopers kind of had a little bit more kind of action in it, see how they play out. But apart from that, it was really well done. I didn't feel any danger for any of the heroes on board of the light cruiser. I didn't think anyone was going to die, so I just did think where this was going to go. Yeah, so it was absolutely poetically done. Kind of wish there was a bit more Boba Fett in there. I mean, he did hold up a wish to say that I'll be with you until that child is safe, but he just buggered off and just pissed off and didn't even come back. Didn't even come back to like once they took over the cruiser to come back and then make sure that they were okay. He just pissed off. But yeah, going through obviously like them overtaking Mandalorian, going through to go and take the child. I mean, obviously they knew what they was doing because this is the first time that I've ever seen a Imperial thing with so much CCTV. I mean, especially when obviously Luke comes along, they can see down every corridor what is going on. So where they think they're going to be sabotaging, it's just, it's just like they got CCTV. They can see me sneak off the ship. But yeah, it was good. Oh yeah, Bubba, you right, mate? Yeah. Well, Sir William Fox Stark, I was with you, mate. I was holding back the tears. I was watching it with the kids, and it was just the tone of music as well. Like when he took his helmet off, it sort of turned into like a Disney film. Like the tone of music went really kind of soft. We just literally had Luke with the twin sons, sort of the false music start. It was all kind of quite surreal. I think it was definitely sort of bringing on much of emotion. I didn't blabber as much as Star Wars Theory, I must admit, but I did kind of sort of have a few little glass eyes, shall we say. But yeah, it was just beautifully done. It was kind of weird. It was kind of really nice to see Luke back. Then it was kind of, and it was like, then it a real reveal that it was actually Luke because halfway through I was kind of like, yeah, well, it probably you're thinking it is Luke, but it's not really going to be Luke. It's going to be someone else. I mean, at first, when the X-Wing first come in, I thought it was going to be Dave Filoni or even the sort of other guy that we've been seeing a lot in the episode that is going to appear. He was going to be like the Jedi or something like that. I kind of had this idea that it was going to be them. But no, obviously when we saw the lightsaber and that, it was poetic. And then R2D2 comes on the scene as well because we didn't really get much of him, did we, in the sequel trilogy? And so it's just really nice to see. I think the R2D2 and Grogu kind of connection thing was probably a little bit too elonged. But I mean, that's just nitpicks and whatnot. But I do think it was very much fan service. There wasn't really, and I do like fan service, but I just think maybe it's a little bit too much on the nail. There's kind of like offering a new kind of plate, or there's something that fans really want. But I suppose they're really just playing safe at the moment. I reckon Grogu moves on from Kylo Ren, but who knows? It could be a whole thing that they're going to bring back that actually Grogu has a connection to the Mandalorian. A bit like Shemi and Anakin. And maybe Grogu's going to be the next Sith. Instead of a Jedi Master Yoda, we're going to have a Jedi Master evil Yoda. So I'm not sure. Yeah. Yeah, when it's going to. The Dark Troopers, though, I mean, they're phase 3. And I get it. I understand the kind of like the concept, what they're going for. They're going for a very 80s nostalgia type RoboCop kind of Terminator kind of movement. You know, they all got that kind of sort of very slow action-esque put up and move in, and the punch comes up and then goes in. It's very sort of like animatronic 80s kind of robot stuff. But I kind of wish we did see a little bit more of that. And I didn't like the way they was just, I mean, this is Star Wars, this is phase 3, and they go, oh, what happens when they come across a locked door? Oh, they just punch it. Well, they've not got no sort of welding tools or anything like that. No, they just literally just stand there and punch and hope for the best. And only one of them punch as well, because even when they all know that where the attacker are, they're all up in the bridge. They just literally all, some just stopped and went on guard while others carried on and walking, and then others stopped and more kept walking. It was just weird why they didn't all just march to the door. Let's just have a look at a few comments, see what you all think. I can't even remember what happened in Mandalorian episode 7. What would it be? It's 16, yeah. 12, maybe 15, wasn't it? I can't remember what happened in it. Let's have a look. Oh, it was the one where they abducted Grogu. All right, let's have a look what some of you guys are talking about. Right. So, yeah, as Bob, as you said, like, it was nice seeing him take off his helmet. He didn't care or anything. He was, you know, he was quite upset to see that kid go. Yeah, I think the blood is his blood is taken, isn't it, to make Palpatine or Snoke. That's why he's a little bit kind of deformed in a way. Maybe it's the Palpatine and Baby Yoda's blood combined, and that's what they're doing to make Snoke. So yeah, and then yeah, we've got a Boba Fett series coming in, which is going to be quite interesting. Yeah, she did. Yeah, Finnick's pretty cool, and she's going to be appearing in Bad Batch as well, so we get a bit more of a backstory to her. I do find her a little bit boring, though. I must admit, I do find her a bit boring as a character. But you know, she did sort of go ham on all those people. So, but you know, I mean, we haven't spoke about all the other series as well. So we've got an Ahsoka series coming our way, the New Rangers coming our way, Bad Batch, well, the Book of Boba Fett. So yeah, it's definitely going. There's a lot coming our way. I mean, it was that Star Wars Acolyte and other bits like that. I'm not too, obviously, not too sure until we start getting things about that. I do think the New Rangers sounds a bit weird. I'm not going to lie. So I'll be interested to see how that goes, but we shall see. Yeah, the Bad Batch figures do look pretty sick. But with all these new series coming out as well, we've got, I mean, it's going to be loads of figures, absolutely hundreds of figures coming out, especially if they're just churning them out like that. I just hope they get enough of these movies and these other figures out before all these other series start kicking in, because otherwise, are we really going to see like some more background characters and stuff like that? You know, I mean, yeah, we could get a new Boba, but who knows? When the Book of Boba Fett comes out, you might have a complete different armor set, because it's going to be different directors, different concept artists to the Mandalorian. So they might put a new thing on him, bring him back to a bit older eyes and stuff like that. I don't want a new Mandalorian just for a spear. Definitely not. But you know they will. They will bring it out just so he has a spear and maybe a dark saber. So we got a second one as well. You know, and a different Grogu in a different pose or something like that. One that attaches to his ankle. Yeah. Yeah, like a Boba Fett that you could actually take off his head and etc. I think a removable helmet, Boba Fett would be great, and stuff like that. So something like that, I think they should do. I mean, especially when they got the Jango Fett figure, I'm sure they could do something like that, you know, easily for Hasbro, and a part Kylo Ren with his robes and stuff. Bo-Katan, she looks absolutely amazing. Yeah, she was confirmed last Monday. So yeah, she looks absolutely fantastic. So I still want a Death Watch figure as well. Really want one of them. There's still loads in the Mandalorian that I still want, and we're still waiting for Krill, Carl Weathers, and what was the other one that was confirmed? Krill, Carl Weathers, and Moff Gideon. So we're getting there. It's kind of expected for Bo-Katan not to be Clone Wars. I think we kind of got. I don't know. I can't see what Hasbro's doing. They seem to be releasing quite a few clones at one point, and then now they just cancelled that, and literally it's all on Mandalorian, which I can see their sort of thing, because people out there that may not collect Black Series, but Black Series people are going to collect it anyway. But also this could entice people newly into the Black Series line, which is obviously anything that's a bonus, really. So hopefully people will be buying those. You know, you see Shore Troopers, and they're like, oh, they're in Rogue One as well. Oh, I'll get them. I'll get a Dark Death Trooper. Oh, because they're in Rogue One as well. Because we've got all those archive lines coming out, which is absolutely fantastic. And as you'll know, I started collecting Black Series like not this April, but the April before. And I feel like I come in like the pinnacle point. Archive series coming out make it easier to get the other ones. All the figures that I've been buying have the new face sculpts and new technology. So everything that has been, which is harder to get, I'm kind of sort of like playing catch up and finding them quite easy to get. So yeah, I mean, big up for Hasbro for that archive line and stuff like that, because yeah, it's fantastic. Although I did get the Death Trooper from Amazon. So I only need the Shore Trooper and the Hover Tank, and I've literally got that collection, which is fantastic. Oh, really? That's so sad to live in those sort of countries. I mean, to be honest, I think most people this year, I mean, I've been doing most of my stuff online. Czech Republic. So we're quite, I would say we're quite lucky in England. You know, obviously, we're definitely more lucky than you. They're cancelling it. But yeah, over here, the toy stores and all that actually they're finally opening. Although I'm in a tier 4, so we're completely struck off, and that's for Christmas as well. But Yeah, so they've actually got some figures in store, and when those stores do open, they're all restocked, and you go in, they've got loads of stock. But also online, it's quite easy to get hold of the figures as well, which I think it's easier than in America, easier over here than America because we don't have the exclusive stores. They're always on. Most of them are actually online, and you can buy for an extra few quid than a normal one. So I think in England we're a bit lucky like that, but we do get them a lot later than most. A lot of people used to moan that Australia used to be quite slow, but lately Australia seem to be getting them left, right, and centre. Sometimes before even America, we're still waiting over here. So by the time our reviews come out, they've been out and about, but I still get all the reviews out. Yeah, especially when you go on Instagram and you see Target and all these people go, "Oh, look at this in Target," and there's all these figures and everything like that. I would love to walk into a shop like that and just see a display. Well, we all start somewhere, mate. So, I mean, my first custom was Gree up there, and it was just a bog standard clone, just to try it out, and he turned out quite successful. So I just continued. If it turned out utter crud, I wouldn't even be here right now. I know that for a fact. But yeah, I'm actually working on the full collection as well. I'm hoping Wednesday the video will come out for the complete collection of my clone army up here. So it'd probably be a long one. It'd be probably about a good sort of maybe 25 minutes, I would imagine, just showing them all off. But I'll make it fun, I'll make it good, and dedicate it to the clones and the boys in white. So can't wait. Yeah, I hardly ever buy on eBay, and if I ever bought on eBay, it always ends up being a shop that I could actually just buy from online anyway. Kapow in the UK do a lot on eBay, and yeah, every time I seem to get a good deal, it's always just from the store. So, oh, nice. Well, I'd like to see your custom, mate. I've got the prototype. I think he's probably further up actually. I've got the prototype one from AliExpress actually, and he's a pretty good figure. I was going to customize him into a Captain Rex. If a Captain Rex became a Mandalorian, so if he turned into like the Boba Fett, so he have like the similar markings to Captain Rex, but as a Mandalorian. That's what I was going to do. And then I was also going to reverse it and do it where if Boba Fett just got sucked in to be a normal clone, what clone armor would Boba Fett be wearing? So I think like most of his markings would be green and red, and sort of stuff like that. And he have a jetpack, but it'd just be a normal clone jetpack and stuff. Yeah. Well, they're good videos. I do enjoy the videos. I do enjoy making them. I enjoy making them more now. I did go through a phase where actually recording and painting it was just a long process. Sometimes on a day off, I just want to sit there and paint, and every time stopping and explaining what I'm doing, and then going back, and then going repainting again and stopping and do it. Even though it is telling people about the process, it does get a little bit kind of like stopping it. So that's why now most of the time when I do a creating a custom, I just have the camera, then I put it on sort of speed to get through, and I cancel the bit of the boring bits in the process of making it. But it's just nice to actually play the camera and kind of sort of the history of making these clones as well. Pretty cool. Yeah, I got the armor as well the other day. I know you're still waiting for yours, but got that one there. She's all ready. I've done all her photos and stuff. I just need to do the review now. She's a pretty nice figure. Yeah, sometimes I've been quite lucky actually. So sometimes I buy the clones and they're probably here within 2 weeks. Other times I bought exactly from exactly same people, same website, and it's taken over a month to get here. So it's a bit sort of intermittent really when it comes for Alden Express, but they will be there. They will get there. I've ordered another 2, so obviously, hopefully for January we can start kicking off and building another 2 because I've still got a few 3D part heads and stuff that I want to do and start bringing them in. But there's quite a few different clones that I still want to make. So yeah, there's a lot still to come. Oh, you removed the head from the 332nd. How did you find it, CT? Did it come off all right? What's that? So is that a 3.75 clone trooper? It's always good. I mean, I don't know if I've got any. Oh, right. So this is what I first bought as painting figures and stuff like that. And just going to those little pound shops, the little cheapo places, and I bought little figures like this. And it's just kind of good just getting it just to see how a paintbrush acts. I mean, I haven't painted before I have been doing these. The last time I painted was school, and so I'm 40 next year. So obviously it's quite a few years ago. So I just wanted to see how some paintbrushes act, how the paint would dry, just to get a little bit of expertise. So I bought some figures like this from the pound shop, and yeah, and just tested out paint. And you can see like this is how I got the color of Gree. I was trying all these different color greens on him and stuff like that. And actually, when I started painting it, I was actually like, actually, it's not too bad. I can actually see myself painting. It's almost like drawing, and yeah. So that's what I did, and I recommend just going out there buy some cheap little figures that you just want to put paint on, just to see how it works, how much paint you need on the paintbrush to cover an area and stuff like that. It's I highly recommend just buying something cheap before you start customizing, and then you'll be fine. Yeah, that's it. Just get a figure like this. I had another one. I did have another one. This one I just tested things on, but the other one I had a concept in my head how I wanted him to look. So I actually sat there and painted. I thought, I'm going to do some like blue arms. I'm going to paint his gloves red. I'm going to have this other thing. He had some other bits on there. I think he even had sort of like a hunter's watch sort of thing. So I painted it silver, and actually completely changed the figure. Rather than just like dabbing paint on, I actually wanted to see how well I could do straight lines and stuff like that. So yeah, and that's on that. No worries. Oh, what custom fives did you want to do? I've still got my phase. Try not to knock them down. So there's my custom phase fives, which I actually gone back over them and actually gave them more of a sort of a bit more of a darker black wash on there. Sort of customised them up a bit more. I'm getting a little bit more used to weathering, because I think at first I did about 5 things for weathering, and I thought, no, that's about it. I don't want to damage it anymore. So I've actually chipped away bits at his paint as well. I gave him a few extra scarves and marks on there. Not to take too far away from the paint job, but enough to sort of just get a few bits in there. Yeah, I would love to do an arc version as well. When I get onto phase 2, I think I'll start doing some arcs. But I just can't help. I just love the phase 1s. My favourite custom. Yeah, I'm really proud. I know I'm blowing my own horn, but I'm really proud how Keeley turned out, because if you could see him while I was actually painting him, he looked like a right mess. Like, he looked awful. And I was just like, what have I done? Like, what have I done? But a bit of patience, and he turned out absolutely fine. But I'm most proud of Keeley. But the ones I enjoyed most I made was Waxer and Boyle. I still remember creating them. I still remember sitting at the old house, and I was upstairs, and I painted them both at the same time because they're very similar. So I just sat there, painting them up, getting them up, and actually seeing them come to life, because they were my favourite clones from Clone Wars, and they were my favourite figures of the 3.75 as well. So, and they were the reason why I started painting, really, because I wanted to actually recreate them in the 6-inch line, and finally putting on that detailing as well, and it come up and it worked. I was like, oh, amazing. So yeah, I think my favourite customs I made is probably Waxer and Boyle, even though they're very plain. But I remember running around, going up and down, comparing from TV, pictures on my phone, like trying to match the colours as well to the figure, to the Commander Cody, which I haven't got. So I'm waiting for the archive line of that one. So I want to see how my phase 1 Cody's compared to my phase 2 Waxer and Boyle. Oh my god, phase 1 Waxer and Boyle compared to Commander Cody. But obviously I have got Cody in phase 1, so it doesn't really matter too much. But yeah, I love all the clones, really, and it's, I just enjoy it. To be honest, I don't think I'm that good a painter. I know a lot of people where they can't paint, but honestly, if you haven't tried it before, try it, because I used to watch people on YouTube all the time, and I'm the same as you at home. I used to watch people on YouTube and think, oh, that looks amazing. Like, I wish I could do things like that. And I used to watch Stigma, and he's changed his name to Bounty Killer Customs now. And I used to watch him, Glenn Webb, and the guy, they used to do all these different customs. He used to paint them, and I thought, oh, I wish I could do that. Like, I really, really wish I could do that. They look amazing. And I never tried it. I never tried it before in my life. So I just thought, one day I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get some, and I'm going to see if I can paint it. And yeah, just try it. If you can't do it, if you're a bit like Splash and all that, then I get it. I have got a little bit of history of art. I only got A in art and design. I never went to college or anything like that to do it. It's only what I've learnt through the years. But if you know what a straight line is, if you know directions and angles and anything like that, you just go for it. You can use masking tape. Obviously, in my videos, I never use masking tape. The only reason why I don't use masking tape is because I haven't got the patience. I just find it boring. If I do it, it colour bleeds anyway. So what's the point in doing duct tape? So you know what a straight line is like, and you know if it's in the middle or not. So you can just paint down there. And as you say, you're scared of screwing up, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you screw up, because the paint, when it's on, let it dry. Don't just, while it's wet, if you try and get rid of it while it's wet, it goes into the plastic. You just can't get rid of it. It'll make a horrible kind of like sort of like a blend into the plastic, and it'll just be always orange. But you know where the middle is. You know where the directions to go to meet in the middle. You know how to get it symmetrical. You know if it looks right or not. If you splodge over too much, you just get a, well, I use the scalpel knife most of the time, but you can just get the toothpick. And honestly, it is so simple. You just chip away at the paint and get it square. And if you go over too much, even if you go over the whole entire body, you'll be able to chip that paint back off. Yeah. Same, mate. I'm actually impatient, and I see people where they do all the weathering. Hiya, mate. They do loads of weathering. It looks fantastic, and I cannot knock them for anything. It looks absolutely amazing what they do. And then I'll put my customs up, and I think, oh, they look a bit bare basic to some of these guys. I do have a look. My look is not to go too far away from Hasbro. I don't want them to look like models. I don't want them to look like over the top, sort of like really dirty. I don't want that. But when it comes to weathering, I'm really impatient. I just want to splish, splash, blot, and done. A little bit of here, a little bit of there, and I'm done. It's only now that I take a little bit of time because I'm learning my techniques. But beforehand, I just didn't really care. Didn't really care for weathering. But honestly, you can't mess up. If you paint it, let it dry. Use a toothpick or one of those scalpels that you see me sort of use, and just chip away at the paint. Just do straight lines, because I'm better with a pencil and I'm better with a knife to get a straight line than I am with a paintbrush. So try and get it straight with the paintbrush. It will splodge over, let it dry, and then just bring those lines in. And that's how I get my straight lines. So all of that was hand painted freely. No tape or anything was used. And it's just all about angles and matching and symmetry. That's all it is. When I look at this, I think, right, it's going to end. And I use these little nub bits as well. So I think, right, it's going to finish there. So that line matches with that hole. And then I think, right, it's about that far distance between that hole and that paint. So then I do the same on the other side. And then I aim up to the shins, to that angle of the actual pointy part of the shins, the thighs. And then I go up and then I look. And that's in line with that hole. And it's that far away from up there. And the same again. So up there, and it's in symmetric with that hole. So just all it is just practice. And even get, I stupidly, 2 years ago, Captain Rex was about £8. Yeah, I did get the Remnant Trooper. Yeah, the review's up, and he is here. But it's pretty cool. It's quite a nice sort of like yellow. Maybe a little bit too sort of fakeish yellow, I think, in my opinion. But his back is completely bald compared to the front, so it needs a little bit more sort of splats and a few more bits of grey on him. Yeah, just get some cheap figures. As I said, I did buy a Captain Rex when I was doing it, and he was £8 from the Entertainer. So I bought two, one to keep, and the other one I took the pauldron off. I took moulds of the pauldron, his holsters and stuff like that. And stupidly, I could have made another figure out of him. And hello, this is me in real life. So what I did with Captain Rex, I literally killed him. I destroyed him. He's got purple paint all over him. He's got milliput that I've stuck all over him. I can't get it off. But I use him. I use him to see how colours are going to shine up and go from there as well. Well, actually, I've had this hairstyle longer than Rex, so poor guy. Yeah, he's completely mullered. I think one day I might be able to turn him into something, but for now, he's just what I call him is my guinea Rex, and you know, we just see from there. But yeah. But that's kind of it, really. We're kind of diverse from the Mandalorian. Talk about customs or anything like that. Anyone got any other questions about customs, paints, paintbrushes? All my paintbrushes are just really old now. I just go through them. Any old paintbrush would do, but I always prefer the ones with the rounder tip at the bottom. Yeah, to be honest, I reckon they probably will be releasing a mortar trooper. To be honest, literally got the design there, and all they've got to do is take out the red paint and replace it with yellow. So I would imagine that a mortar trooper will be coming pretty soon. To be honest, the only thing that I'll be missing is kind of like a jet, like the backpack. So I feel like he might be a bit missing if I make him and he hasn't got the proper backpack. My favourite Black Series figure, I'm going to actually leave that off, to be honest, because in Christmas week, I'm going to be filming an episode, is my top 5 Black Series figures. So I won't say quite yet, but it's probably quite easily guessed, to be honest. And it's not. Oh, I don't know. Snoke. I was going to do my top 5 worst Black Series figures as well, but it would actually be pretty much my sequel shelf. I just don't. All the figures down there, I just don't think they do any justice to any of the characters from the sequels. Rey, she hardly stands up. All the others got really bad articulation, and that goes from Finn, Poe, the First Order Trooper, the Flame Trooper, the Crimson Guard. They're all awful. Like, I just think every single sequel figure is pretty bad. And the only one out of the whole entire lot that I quite liked was the Commander Pryor and the Phasma figure. I think even I got that Captain Cardinal. Even he felt like, I don't know, maybe it's the plastic he's made of, but he still didn't feel like he had the articulation there or anything. What do you mean by Matty? Was that, do you recommend fix the paint with something in action figures in case I don't have a miniature or toy special paint? What do you mean by that, mate? Yeah, Captain Phas. Do you know? I was going to go through and start just to try and get every figure on the channel. I was going to do some of the older figures as reviews, and I've got both Phasmas, and I was going to do a joint one for that. I don't think the Captain Phasma one's pretty bad, but I do the battle damage one. I think she's quite a brilliant figure, to be honest. But she's got the cloth cape. She's got the spear. I think she's slightly a little bit better articulation than the other one. I don't know if they're exactly the same body, to be honest, but it just feels a bit better. Take care, CT. So Matty, I'm not too sure on your question, mate. Do you recommend to fix paint with something in an action? I mean, you can always just. I mean, you need acrylic paint. There's which is kind of like a plastic base. It fits onto the figures perfectly. It doesn't bleed or anything out there like that. I have used paints just to fix up figures, but I'm not too sure. I mean, you can practice on miniatures. Special paint that isn't anything that is special, but you need things with higher pigmentation in it. So go into a hobbycraft shop and buying painter's acrylic won't be good enough. It'll be too thick for it. So you need to go to places like Games Workshop using Citadel, or even to Mira, what I use, which you can easily find on Amazon. Yeah, that's the only thing with that Captain Phasma. I do wish I could swap it over and get the cape on the other one, which is the fuller figure and all that. Oh, that's all right then, Matty. Yeah, just acrylic paints. I don't know whereabouts you live and stuff like that, but Amazon for us, they're about $2.99 for a small pot, which will last you many times. As long as you look after the paint, make sure you screw that cap back down, because once the air gets to it, you can see it turns into plastic. It's like a really stretchy, horrible kind of paint once it starts to dry. But yeah, just Tamiya sort of paints and stuff like that are absolutely perfect for it. There is other ones out there. I think, is it Villaro? But you get it more expensive. You're going up, but they do more colours. So with Tamira, you're doing a lot more colour mixing and stuff like that just to get the colours properly. Oh, righty. Yeah, so whereabouts are you in Czechoslovakia, aren't you? Yeah, hopefully you get some acrylic paints and all that as well after Christmas. So if you've got any hobby shops or anything like that, especially if they sell things like models like Airfix and stuff like that, then pretty much most of the your paints and all that you will find there, which is good. I found a shop that's probably about 10 minutes away from me. I've been ordering on Amazon. I've been driving out to hobby shops and stuff like that all my life, trying to find these paints, and they only have like 30 at max. But I posted on my Instagram the other day. I went to this shop, hundreds, and it was only 10 minutes from my door, and I never even knew about it. Loads, like the more I could ever want, and it was all there. It was amazing. Because I've got an R2D2 custom to come along, which I'm going to create R7A7, which is Ahsoka's droid. So I've got that one to come as well to the channel. So look forward to that. Yeah, it's weird. I always kind of thought with capes, I do like a plastic cape, I must admit, and I never really like cloth. I think it works in some places and doesn't work in others. But the more that I start, I think because now I've got into like taking pictures and putting them on Instagram and doing sort of like poses and stuff like that, you really kind of sort of like appreciate a cloth cape because you can actually swing it around, you can get some poses with it and stuff, especially like with the Mandalorian. I hate molded capes. Just stuck on his arm. So you can't even put his arm up because it pushes the cape off, and then you've got this kind of molded shoulder in the cape. It just looks awful. What was the other one that came out? It was ridiculous. I can't remember her name. It was the coloured girl in the new The Rise of the Skywalker. I can't even remember. Shows you how sort of like that film stands out, doesn't it? But she was like the other sort of stormtrooper that she was a stormtrooper as well on that planet, on that ocean planet. She's got a plastic cape, but she comes with a bow and arrow. So you put it on her back, the plastic cape looks like a blooming moth's wing, like hanging off. It just looks awful. It just why they thought, oh, it's a great idea, let's put a plastic cape and then cloth. I mean, to me, I think cloth cape would be cheaper to produce because you could just get a massive roll of material and just go cut, rather than splodge of plastic. It's just, yeah, I don't know. Haven't. I said Jana. Yeah, that's it. That's the one I'm talking about. I knew it was someone I know. 3.75 figures. No, I haven't. No, and I have got some figures of the 3.75 down here. George Lucas in Stormtrooper. Like Commander Gree and all that down here, but yeah, I just don't. I don't custom. They're too small for me. I'm a bit too heavy-handed when it comes to it, and I don't think I could do a 3.75 custom justice as much as a 6-inch, to be honest. The 3.25 was the 322nd, wasn't he? He was part of the Clone Wars one, and I haven't seen him about at all. That's the only thing with Hasbro. Would only sell them out as exclusives to these other people. Once they're kind of gone, they're gone. Whether it's like worldwide released with all these other ones, it's annoying. Yeah. Do you think about buying a Bandai model kit Stormtrooper? I haven't bought a Stormtrooper. I don't buy the Darth Vader, but I do buy the Bandai knockoff on AliExpress, the R2 kits, and they're only like £15 on there. And with a splodge of paint, wipe off the dust. They come up amazingly. I think they're really, really good. And for 15 quid, you actually get an R2 unit and an R5 unit, which you can just keep buying, and you can just paint them into completely different ones. Like these guys. And also on AliExpress, which comes in really handy, is there's a shop on there, I can't remember what it's called, but they sell C-3POs. He's got a red arm. I think last time I saw him was about £6.78 and about £4 post and packaging. And you can just buy him and customize him. So you've got TC-14. I've got the red ones, the blue ones, the white ones, and just paint them up. Like AliExpress is actually brilliant for customizers, or if you just want to buy a cheap figure and just paint up, because they are there. But I highly recommend those Bandai kits. I don't know what the Stormtrooper and all that will be. I do find that these do get like warped legs. They're not warped over time. It's just the plastic that's been in the box. But I do think maybe a Stormtrooper might be a little bit warped or something like that. But you know, you can always try it. The most Mandalorian figure are you looking forward to? What ones that have come out or ones that haven't been confirmed? If we're talking about ones that haven't got a confirm, then I would say probably a Dark Trooper would be pretty cool. Maybe a Boba Fett. Ones that has been confirmed, then it definitely would be Bo-Katan. But yeah, I think it would definitely be a Dark Trooper. Can't even think of much else really, to be honest. That hasn't come out because they just keep releasing loads. All right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I reckon Fennec won't be long down the line, and maybe some other ones as well. Simon, why are you so happy? Yeah, I think it's really cool as well that Boba Fett has come back. It's just a really shame, isn't it? It's kind of like the changing of the tides. I mean, you know, Boba Fett comes back to life, and then we lose Jeremy. It's absolutely crazy. Like you think for the whole of your career, the character that you portrayed died in the movie, only for then it to come back at the end of your life. It's absolutely weird, very dark if you think about it. Yeah. I don't think there's many characters left that they haven't really confirmed, have they, really? I don't even think of. It is just be Fennec and Boba Fett, really. They got Bo Katan. I mean, I suppose they could bring out another Luke. And maybe a few of the other Mandalorians in the. Yeah, like more of the Bo Katan's Mandalorians and stuff. Yeah, the Marshal, I forgot about him, Veb. I mean, they're bringing out Tuscans again, aren't they? IG-11 would be great to be able to get him a little bit more, rather than paying over the odds or getting the credit edition, which seems to be ridiculous. It's supposed to be the limited edition version, yet you can buy him easier than the actual standard release. Well, I'd say the Marshall's slightly a little bit different, though, isn't he? He's a lot taller. You know, I could imagine him sort of like, oh my god, I'm losing it. Kanan Jarrus, kind of slender figure, isn't he? He's kind of more slender, slightly different, you know. So, yeah, another Ahsoka. Yeah, I forgot, and also the lady that she fought as well. That'd be pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen on the channel though, William. There's I've I bought most of the bootlegs that actually you can buy on AliExpress and done a review for each of those. The review is a little bit dodgy because they're a little bit older now, but um, you know, but at least they're on there to show you off. But saying that, on AliExpress you can actually buy stuff that because you just because it's AliExpress doesn't mean it's a knockoff web or they're all knockoffs. I actually bought for £20 and only just recently as well Han Solo from A New Hope. Interchangeable hands with the gun and everything like that. It come on the 40th anniversary of A New Hope as well. And I actually paid £20 for him and £5 post and packaging, when this guy is pretty much excessive of £40 and £50. So you know, there's a few on there. You'll find what else did I get? Well, the C-3POs, they're all official Hasbro ones as well, the red arm. And if you can find that webpage, they all got weird. There's a Tusken doing like a kick and stuff. They're actually all official figures, and I think what they are, they're kind of like end of a line sort of run or damaged stock and whatever like that. I think it looks like a Scarif Trooper, but I can't remember which one it is. But it's kind of grey. Oh, I can't see him. But this bit here at the front wasn't painted, so all I had to do was slap on a bit of black paint, and it was fine. So that was kind of it, really. Yeah. Well, we look forward to your YouTube channel and getting some videos up. So it's pretty cool. Oh, dear. All right. Well, it's coming to an end. It's coming up for the hour and stuff like that. So I think, in general, it's been a good chat. I might try and do a live chat once a month and stuff like that for people who want to ask about customizing and whatnot. But if you ever need to contact me and whatnot, then just follow me on Instagram, which is Centurions _ corner. And I'm always free for a chat. If you just need to message me and ask me about what paints, what you recommend, or even a link to getting the clone troopers and stuff like that, then just hit me up and I will talk to the cows come home, to be honest. So thank you once again for joining me on this one. And it's the last of the live chats with the Mandalorian. So hopefully we'll do this again very soon. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye, everyone. Thank you for joining. I'll see you soon. Bye.